Moving from California to Idaho, is it even worth it? From the bustling state of California to the serene landscape of North Idaho can be a significant life change. Here are some of the noticeable differences you and your family are going to encounter, and we're going to take a look at that right now. First and foremost, pace of life. It is a much slower pace here in the North Idaho area compared to probably the fast-paced urban areas of California there. People come here for a change in quality of life. They're not coming here to see how much they can get done. Not that people aren't industrious and all those things here, they are. But it's a different pace of life. You know, you will probably notice is one, less traffic, even though we think there's a lot of traffic here. One is probably going to be less traffic, but two, just the way people are here and the lifestyle here. If you're coming here, you know, you're going to be able to slow down and then enjoy life. So outdoor lifestyle. So I'm not saying people in California don't have an outdoor lifestyle, but we are right in the middle of the outdoor lifestyle. So you're going to be able to embrace a more outdoor-oriented lifestyle with opportunities for hiking, fishing, hunting, boating, whatever it is you like to do. You can find it here. We have hiking all over the place. We got mountain bike trails. We've got Trail of the Coeur d'Alene, 72 miles that you can get out and ride along the Coeur d'Alene River. There's even a bridge goes over the Coeur d'Alene Lake. So you don't have to travel 5 hours or go share the hiking hill with 200 other people. There's plenty of places if you want to get out and be one with nature. Community and culture. We have smaller communities here. North Idaho, has a smaller, more tight-knit community, fostering, a sense of belonging and neighborliness or neighborhood or neighborly. Biggest comment I get from people that I know that moved here from out of state is how friendly everybody is. People let you in traffic, they allow you to turn in. I travel to other places on vacation and that's always a frustration when you're just like, gosh, nobody's going to let me in. People are polite in lines. People are friendly here, and they just embode that North Idaho community feel, and that is one of the biggest things I love about this area. I love going to the high school events. They sing the national anthem. People are very patriotic. They love God. They love their country, and they love their families, and it shows up here for the most part. Just be aware of that. It is a conservative culture, so the political and social climates tend to be far more conservative. And that's the reason a lot of people come here. It's not always a lot of the, other things. It's that a lot of people are coming here to escape a culture where they don't feel as comfortable, and they can come here and speak their mind. And we do have both. But, whether you lean left or lean right, there's going to be far more people that lean to the right. And so there's going to be some very outspoken people. You're going to see a lot of Trump flags. You're going to see a lot of American flags. People love America up here. And the 4th of July is one of the biggest holidays. So if you're a 4th of July person, North Idaho is where you want to be for the 4th of July, because people love to get out and celebrate our wonderful country. Practical consideration, cost of living. There was a time, not too long ago, 4 or 5 years ago, you could sell your home in California. Most people were getting very high dollars for their homes. They were coming here, buying a nice home with acreage and a shop, and then buying 2 more homes, maybe for investments or padding their retirement. And a lot that's changed. It wasn't too long ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago and beyond, we were below the national average as far as housing, as far as our housing values and prices. That is not the case anymore. We are actually above the national average now. Our national average leans towards the higher end. So if you're coming here thinking, I'm going to buy a home and save some money, now it's true. You can downsize from maybe what you're you have there. If you're in an area probably like San Francisco or something like that, where, you can sell your 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot home for, $1 million or $2 million. I don't know if that's still the case, but you can still come here and buy that same home for $400,000 or $500,000. Although I think we're probably a lower cost of living, but just be aware that you get out in some of these rural areas, there is a cost to getting gas, getting groceries, getting services out to those areas. And so it is going to reflect in some of your pricing. So, we're here in North Idaho. We're just off I-90. So I think that does help in some cases, but there is still a cost to bring goods and services to this area. And so you may see a higher price maybe in some areas, or maybe in some of these areas, the cost is very close to what you're paying on some items. So I do think overall the cost of living is going to be a little bit lower, but there are some things maybe like groceries or not gas. I mean, our gas is going to be far cheaper, but there are going to be some things that you're going to feel like, hey, I'm not really saving. And so if the whole reason you're coming is cost of living, that may not be enough. So take a look at the cost of living, do a little research, give us a call, shoot us a text, if you got some questions on that. I've been a realtor for almost 20 years now, licensed in the state of Idaho. I love this state, so I'd like to think that over the years I've accumulated a little bit of knowledge on some of these different things, and I'd love to help out in any way I can. The next one is the job market. So our job market here is going to be far less than probably what you have there. We've got a very diverse economy. While the economy is diverse, it can be difficult, if you're coming here from California expecting the same pay or looking for the same type of job or seeking a specific industry. We just don't have it. We are a small area here, and there are not going to be the same opportunities that maybe you would find there. So keep that in mind as you're looking at job opportunities. We do have the option to commute into the Spokane area that does offer more, but also know that the pay may not equal what you're getting paid there. Different companies use different ways of figuring out how much they're going to pay. For example, a teacher there in California is going to make probably far more money than a teacher here in Idaho. So keep that in mind, and mixing that with the cost of living for the different services you're looking for, or housing, or whatever it may be. You got to make sure, obviously it always has to make sense. Keep those in mind. Remote work, if you're able to come up and work remote, geez, you got the best of both worlds, because maybe you can continue to have your high level of pay in an area like this and enjoy the quality of life that North Idaho offers. And so that is something to definitely keep in mind. Moving on, let's talk about climate and seasons. We are 4 seasons. Actually, I think we're 6 seasons here, and 2 of them I hate the worst. So early spring, late fall, not a fan. It's gray, it's gloomy, it's rainy, it's cold. Not my favorite time of the year. Late spring, early fall, awesome. Beautiful, great hiking, great, get out. The weather is just beautiful. Winters, we do get a winter. It gets cold and we get snow. Like I said, we got 5 ski areas within about an hour of us right here. If you're going to live in this area, you're going to have to realize it gets cold, we get snow. And if you love doing some winter activities, snowshoeing, winter hiking, cross-country skiing, or my favorite, skiing, then you're going to enjoy winter and it won't feel so long. Our average weather in the winter is in that low to mid 30s. But we do get times where it gets down obviously below freezing, and sometimes even down into single digits and below 0. So just know that it can get cold here. We're not as extreme as some of the other areas in Idaho. I mean, we are at 2,300 elevation, and you look at places like Southeast Idaho at 4,500 elevation, or McCall, Idaho, up in the mountains at 5,500. So there is some differences in elevation that does give us a little bit of a difference in weather and climate and how much snow we get. Rathdrum, Twin Lakes, Spirit Lake, Athol, all those are going to get a lot more snow than you're going to see in Post Falls and Coeur d'Alene. So keep that in mind. We always suggest come up in the winter, spend a little time, see if it's something that works for you. But just know we have seasons up here. I love having different seasons. And so for me, it's a positive. Outdoor activities, people come here to take advantage of the outdoor activities. And that was the big draw for me when I moved here. I love playing on the lake, getting out, water skiing, surfing. I love to ski in the winters. I mountain bike, I hike. I love getting out into nature. I don't hunt anymore, but there's a lot of people that love to hunt, and we've got a lot of it. Fishing, there is fishing everywhere. Fly fishing down along the Coeur d'Alene River. We've got lakes if you like lake fishing. If you like to ice fish, I always feel like those people must have a bad marriage. I don't know why you'd go out and sit there in the cold and try to fish, but I'm not much of an ice fisher, but there is a lot of ice fishing here in the area, and there have been some record fish caught up here in this area. And so, salmon, bass, trout, you name it. There's all kinds of different fish up here. And if lifestyle, you love being out in nature and enjoying those amenities, this is a great place for that. The outdoor activities are plentiful and they are available. Infrastructure and amenities. There is going to be less urban amenities than what you're going to see in the California area. North Idaho offers a high quality of life, but a lot fewer urban amenities and conveniences. Shopping. We did just get a Trader Joe's. We do have a Costco. We have boutiques, here if you're looking for clothes. We do have a Dillard's here. Anything more than that, you're headed to the city, you're going to find a lot more options there in the Spokane area, but even that may be limited depending on what you're looking for there. So urban amenities, even, if you're looking at things such as culture, plays, orchestras, concerts, all those types of things are not as plentiful here in this area. And so sporting events, keep that in mind. We just don't have some of those things. And if that's what you're looking for, this may not feel like the right place for you. Rural lifestyle, and coming here, even though like Coeur d'Alene is the biggest city here in the area, but even it is still very small compared to a lot of these areas around here. Spokane is actually the biggest area around here, but everything here in North Idaho is really more of an urban lifestyle, and especially if you get out of the Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls, Ratham, those are all kind of Hayden, those are all kind of clumped together. Once you move out of there, you start getting more into like Spirit Lake, Athol, Coquilala, Sandpoint even has a much different feel than Coeur d'Alene. So to me, it's a lot more laid back than Coeur d'Alene is. So just know, depending on what you're looking for, but it's going to have a much more urban feel. Depending on where you're at, you're going to have longer commutes, fewer dining options, fewer shopping options, those things. So just keep that in mind. So to think about, depending on where you're at, especially, if you're wanting to be out and do some off-grid or homesteading, I mean, let's face it, if you're living in a urban area in California and you're thinking that you would like to go buy 20 acres and live off-grid, I would highly suggest you come and spend some time here first before you make that move, because you most likely, if you haven't been snowed in for a week or haven't gone without internet for a week or some of those things, having to forage for a lot of things and not just being able to jump in your car and, run down to the corner store and pick up a gallon of milk, it is different, and it is going to feel probably a lot more secluded than what you're used to. So I just highly recommend put a little thought into what your ambitions are or reasons for coming and think those through. A few bonus things that I think are worth talking about. They are good additional considerations. One is going to be the school districts. Now, I did a video a while back on the school districts up here. We actually have very good school districts per the state of Idaho. So I was public school trained, and I don't know if that's good or bad, and nobody's going to call me a genius, and so who knows, but I felt like I got a great education. I think the school systems here are great. I think they work hard, they do a good job. We do fight with overcrowding, we're growing, and so I think anytime you're trying to fill some of those voids, that, money is always the big one. We need more money for teachers. We need more money for activities. We need all those things, and it's just not in all these areas. Places like Priest River that had to shut down their school for a bit and put the kids in others because they couldn't get the bond to pass, and they needed more money to keep things moving. So just know that there is some struggles for some of that stuff. Now, we do have some schools like the STEM schools, and or you might consider homeschooling or some of those things, but take some time, look through our schools. I think we have a higher than average school system. Niche.com, NICHE.com. If you're really wanting to do some research, that's a great resource to go to look up different schools, see how they're graded, and get some additional information and see how they compare to maybe what you have there. Healthcare access. So just know that, especially if you're out in some rural areas, it may take a while for an ambulance or a fire truck to get there. In fact, in some areas, we may only have volunteers. So keep that in mind as you're looking at some of these different areas, and maybe be cognitive of what your needs are. If you're somebody that has some health issues and you got to get into the doctor, a couple times a week or once a week, or there's a concern of some other health challenges, being too far out in the rural area may not be the best choice. Also, looking to see, do our health systems offer the whatever specialties you might need? Check to see if we offer some of those specialties of what maybe you need, or do they even take the insurance that you might have? So I know that Kootenai does a great job. We've got, the North Idaho Hospital here also. We've got a lot of the urgent care that are popping up now. We are seeing a lot more medical services in this area. We are close, if you're in the Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls area, you're 20, 30 minutes from services in Spokane Valley and in Spokane. They have them just off of I-90 there. So keep those in mind. Certain insurance providers may not be accepted in this area. Do your research, see what is needed, make sure that your specialist is here, or if there's something you're concerned about needing. Again, let me know. Leave in the comments or give me a call, text. I'd be happy to do some research on my end, or at least point you in the right direction. Internet connectivity. So that's a big one. If you're in the Rathdrum, Post Falls, Hayden, Coeur d'Alene, Sandpoint, you're going to have pretty good internet connectivity. They offer, the high-speed internet. There's a lot of those options, but you get out to some of those areas going north and going south, but you get outside of this area here into the more rural areas like Barrett Lake, Athol, Coquilala, some of these areas are not going to have the same services. You may be stuck with satellite. I know even some of that's getting better now, but if you need a certain upload, download speed, or you need high speed, I would put in a little effort, ask me, or do some research, see if it's offered in the areas you're considering, because we do not have it everywhere up here. Like I said, there are some very rural areas, and there are a lot of times the internet is going to be a bit spotty. Anyway, by understanding a lot of these potential changes and, trying to prepare accordingly, you can, hopefully make a smooth transition for your move here to North Idaho. If you'd like to know more about these different areas, about some of these topics, if I missed something, leave it in the comment. I would love to hear your comments on anything that I might have missed. Like and share our video. Give me a call, give me a text, send me an email. Me and my team are never too busy to help you. Would love to help make your move to North Idaho a smooth transition, and we'll see you on the next video.